A baby zombie villager on a chicken with fully enchanted diamond armor holding an enchanted iron sword in its left hand has a 1 in whatever this number is chance to spawn. And well, that's not the only rare mob in Minecraft. There are tons more. And I'm going to collect every single one of them. Now, if I'm going to collect every rare mob, I need a place to put them. So let's just... Perfect. This is where we'll put them. Now, to start collecting these rare mobs, I'm going to start with the rare ones, and then we'll work all the way up to the super rare mobs. And oh, no, wait, we've already found a pink sheep. Oh, wait a second, it's just a pig. Okay, false alarm. Now, the first mob that we'll work on getting is the Sniffer, because it's the easiest rare mob to get, and as I said, the mobs will get harder and harder to collect as the video goes on, to the point we are going to have to risk our world to get some of them, and even get a mob that no one has in their hardcore world yet. Anyway, though, to get the Sniffer, we have to brush a bunch of suspicious sand and gravel to get a Sniffer egg. Oh, there we go, finally, we got the egg. Now, before we put the Sniffer in our rare mob area, let's grab some blocks for decoration, so that we can theme each area like the mob. I want these guys to feel like they're at home in this place. So now that the first enclosure's done, we can go ahead and place down the Sniffer egg. And now that it's hatched, we have officially collected our first rare mob. Oh, and to make sure these mobs don't despawn, I'll have to name tag all of them. So, Flint and Steel. Anyway, let's go and collect the next rare mob, which is the Brown Mooshroom. You get this thing by having a normal mushroom get struck by lightning. Now, to be able to strike things with lightning, we need a trident with the channeling enchant. Aha! We found a drowned with a trident. Now, we just need you to drop it. Hey! Come on, and we didn't get one. But maybe one of these drowns can drop theirs. So, let's head over and take both of these guys out just like this, and... Oh! It dropped its trident! Let's go! So, let's keep on enchanting this thing until we get the channeling enchant. And now that we have it, we'll also add mending on this thing. Now, what makes the Brown Mooshroom so rare is that it can only be found on Mushroom Islands. So, I guess let's just explore until we find one. Oh, yes! It took longer than expected, but we have found a Mushroom Island. But even though we're here, we still cannot get the Brown Mooshroom, because we have to wait for a thunderstorm. This could take weeks. Oh, wait. That was thunder. That was thunder. I heard that. Okay, we gotta go quick. We gotta go quick. Okay, let's strike lightning onto this mushroom. Wait, what? Do I have to hit the mushroom? Oh, I do! Okay, there we go. Now, just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna try bring back more than one of these, just in case anything bad happens. Now, I'm pretty sure I brought some leads with us. So, let's grab both of these brown mushrooms and bring them back to our rare mob area. Okay, we're back home, and we need to bring this thing right here. Now, yes, there's only one left because the other one died, so good thing I did bring two. Okay, now we just need to land really slowly to make sure this thing doesn't die. Okay, let's bring this thing in here. Okay, now the reason I'm not gonna decorate this enclosure straight away is because there's actually a very rare mob that we can collect while it's still thunderstorming, and this is the charged creeper. So I think it's still lightning. Let's just go ahead and see. Okay, boom, there it is. Now we need to bring this thing over without dying. This is going to be very hard. No, 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 no. Oh, half a heart, and I don't have a totem. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, I'm scared the thunderstorm's gonna end. We need to hurry up and do this. What the? Wait, is this a rare mob? Okay, you know what? Let's not worry about that. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay, it's swimming towards us, and I think I have a good idea of how we can get it in here. Okay, let's quickly try making some trapdoors like this, and let's maybe just try trapping it down here. And now, if we put some cobblestone just like this, the creeper should fall in. Yes! Okay, it's down there. We'll go ahead and give it the name Bob, so let's just quickly go ahead and do it like that. Okay, I've just realized I also forgot to name the brown mushroom, so we'll call it Moo, because it's a cow. And now that both of these guys have name tags, we'll get to work building their enclosures. So for the brown mushroom, we'll go ahead and collect some Mushroom Island blocks. And now that we have these, we'll go ahead and decorate the enclosure. Alright, now let's build the charged creeper enclosure. And to do it, we're going to mix in some green concrete with some black concrete. And we'll even add some blue concrete to make it look like a charged creeper. And also some TNT, which I'll probably regret adding later. Anyway, we'll finish this off by placing down some glass. Now we somehow have to get the creeper in here. Now I think if we build a tunnel behind this enclosure, we can then get the creeper to follow us down it. And now the thing is, how do we put the blocks back down there? What if we run really quick? Boom, boom. And then we can put the glass back down. There we go. We have officially trapped the charged creeper. So far, we now have 3 rare mobs. Anyway, though, things are looking pretty cool in here so far, but we have a long way to go. So let's get to work getting the next rare mob. And for this rare mob, we have to be in a mangrove swamp, because the mob we're looking for is the green frog. Now, this thing does not spawn naturally, which makes it rare. Now, to actually get this thing, we need to grab some slime balls, and then using these, we can breed 2 frogs together so that we can get some tadpoles. And while we wait for these tadpoles to grow, we'll grab some blocks from the mangrove swamp so we can decorate their enclosure later. And take a look at that. The tadpoles are now here, so we'll grab one of these. And well, seeing as I don't need the other tadpoles, I'm gonna have to leave them here, so I hope nothing bad happens to these guys. Now, the final thing that we need to do to get the green frog is let this tadpole grow up in a cold biome. Now, for some reason, the low temperature makes it so when this tadpole grows up, it becomes green. Now, if we feed it some slime balls, we can actually make it grow faster. So any minute now, it should grow up, and there we go. We now have the rarest frog in Minecraft, which means it's time to bring this thing back to our rare mob area. Now, you have to be really careful when you're flying with mobs. We can't let this thing die of full damage. Come on, we're almost here, and the frog is still alive. So we'll bring this thing into its new prison, I mean home, and we will name this guy, and we'll name this guy Spike. We'll also, of course, make this area look like a mangrove swamp, so let's clear out some space. Now, let's get to decorating. Alright, looking good. That is another mob checked off the list. And if you're wondering where the frog's gone, it's still in there. It's just under the lily pad for some reason. It's almost like the frog is scared and it's hiding from me. I mean, there's definitely no reason why it would be scared of me, right? Anyway, for the next mob, we need to head over to a village because this next rare mob is an extremely rare variant of a villager. In fact, there's 2 of these rare variants. Now, to get the first rare variant, we need to breed villagers in a jungle. So let's quickly capture 2 villagers in a boat so they don't go anywhere. And now that we have 2 villagers that we can breed, the hard part is getting them to the biome that we need. Now, for the first variant, of course, we have to breed them in a jungle, which shouldn't be too hard because there's literally a jungle right there. We're just gonna have to put them on a minecart to get them over here. Now, getting a bunch of iron to build rails should not be a problem because in a previous hardcore episode, I mined 50,000 ores. So yeah, I have a ton of iron. So let's use it to make some rails, and we'll also use some gold to make some powered rails. Now, with all of this stuff, we should pretty easily be able to get these villagers over to the jungle. And now that these villagers are in a jungle, when we breed them, they should give us a jungle villager. Now, the jungle villager cannot spawn naturally, making it one of the rarest villagers. Now, are we gonna get one here? Yes, there's a baby villager. But wait a second, that's not a jungle villager. Did I do something wrong? Maybe we just have to try again. All right, let's hope this works. So now there's more villagers in here. They should breed again. And hopefully this time we can get ourselves the jungle villager. All right, the villagers have had a baby and I've lost it. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. And yes, it has worked. That is the jungle villager. Now, the easiest way to transport this villager is put it in a boat. Okay, here we are. I am very lucky that I live right next to a jungle because getting this guy here was actually pretty easy. Now, on the other hand, the other rare villager that we need to get is not going to be so easy. Now, this villager variant is a swamp villager, and well, the swamp is much further away from my base. So when we get this thing, we're going to have to transport it through the nether. Now, this is perfect. There is a swamp right next to a village, so getting the villager to the swamp is going to be easy. So let's quickly go ahead and do that, and then, of course, we'll breed these villagers to get a swamp villager. Now, to get this thing back to our rare mob area, we are going to need to go into the nether, and now that we're here, we need an ender pearl, and using this ender pearl, we can get onto the roof of the nether, and now if we build a portal in this exact spot, we get brought out at this exact portal. So now that those portals are linked, we should pretty easily be able to transport this villager back to our house. So let's head into the portal, and then head all the way in this direction. We can then bring a portal here, which should hopefully bring us back to our rare mob area. Okay, the portal didn't bring us exactly where we need to be, but it's close enough. Our house is literally over there. And just like that, we now have both of the rarest villagers in Minecraft. So let's of course decorate their enclosure, and with that done, we have officially added even more mobs into the rare mob collection. But so far, we've pretty much only captured rare mobs, which means we still have all of the very rare mobs to get, and also all of the super rare mobs. And so far, the mobs have been easy to capture compared to what we're going to have to do later. So if we want to start making some serious progress, we're gonna have to get faster at collecting each of these mobs. Otherwise, by the time I finish this project, I'm gonna have an entire family, 10 kids, and maybe even be retired. Okay, maybe that was a little bit extreme, but anyway, the next mob we have to get is an Enderman holding mycelium. Now, we've already got the mycelium, so all we have to do is get an Enderman to hold it. And if you're wondering why this mob is rare, it's because no hostile mobs can spawn on a mushroom island, which means there's no way that an Enderman could pick up a mycelium block naturally. Now, seeing as it's nighttime, it should be pretty easy to find an Enderman. All we have to do is keep our eyes peeled, and wait a second, there's one right there. So let's go over to it and try and get it to pick up some mycelium. Now, right now, we can't do anything because these skeletons aren't leaving me alone! Ha! Take that. So if I put mycelium all around this Enderman, it should hopefully pick one of these up. So let's break the bow, and oh, okay, that was way faster than I thought. So now we just have to get this Enderman back in a bow, and where'd it go? What is it doing? Why are you running away? There's no escape for you here. Oh, maybe there is. This Enderman, for some reason, just does not want to cooperate right now. What is going on? Bro, just accept your fate. Get in the boat. What? All right, you are not getting away this time. Get in. Get in. Yes, we have captured the Enderman holding mycelium. Why is it looking at you guys like that? Anyway, it's in the rare mob area, so let's build its enclosure. Now, to theme this enclosure like an Enderman, I'm gonna take out some squids so we can make some black dye. Now, we can use this to make black concrete powder, and then we'll also make some purple concrete powder. Because what I want to do for this Enderman enclosure is make it kind of look like an Enderman is holding onto mycelium. Oh, and we also have to put buttons on the floor of this enclosure, just so the Enderman doesn't place the mycelium block anywhere. Now, the enclosure's done, and I've just realized something. Couldn't the Enderman just teleport out of here? Yeah, we should probably put it back in its boat. Okay, yeah, now this guy's definitely not escaping. Now, with this Enderman trapped, we only have one more mob to get until we move on to the very rare section. And now the final mob that we need to get for the rare section is found here, a pillager outpost. Because the mob we need to get is a peaceful pillager. So let's quickly take out all of these guys, and we'll make sure to leave one. And now to get this guy to become a peaceful pillager, we need him to keep shooting his crossbow until it breaks. And once this pillager's crossbow breaks, it will become completely peaceful. Now also, as you can see, because the pillager's in a boat, every time it shoots its crossbow, it completely misses. So we're able to pretty much sit here and do nothing until the crossbow breaks. This pillager must have had 1,000,000 arrows in that crossbow because that took forever. But anyway, as you can see, this pillager is not attacking us because its crossbow has broke. Now, before we take you back to your new enclosure, we'll quickly fly over to this outpost to grab some blocks from it, so we have stuff to decorate the peaceful pillager's enclosure with. And now we have all of that stuff, let's get this guy back home. And let's build your enclosure. And of course, we can theme this one exactly like a pillager outpost. Now, with this being done, we have now collected every single mob in the rare category. But now, this is where things start to get a little more difficult. Because the first mob in the very rare category is found here in the jungle. And, well, it's a panda, but not a panda like this. You see, there's two extremely rare pandas you can get in Minecraft. One of them being the Snotty-nosed panda, also known as the weak panda. And, well, the way to see if a panda's a Snotty-nosed panda is by looking under its nose and seeing if there's any sort of green snot. It's actually quite disgusting. Anyway, though, there's no real way to find this mob other than just looking around. I mean, I guess we could keep breeding pandas until we find it, but I want to see if we can find it naturally, because that would just add a little bit of extra rareness to the mob. But yeah, if it takes longer than like 5 to 10 hours to find, I'll just resort to breeding pandas. Now, knowing how rare the Snotty-nosed panda is, I thought it would be one of the hardest mobs to find up until this point. But, well, after flying over multiple jungles, I got very lucky. Wait, is this it? Oh my goodness, that's it, that's it. That's a baby Snotty-nosed panda. Is that even more rare? Oh my goodness. Okay, wait, go down here. Yep, that is definitely the Snotty-nosed panda. Now, I think the perfect name for this guy is Snot. Oh, it's sneezing. I had no idea it did that. Anyway, though, I've now connected a portal to bring the Snotty-nosed panda through, and now using the nether roof once again, we'll head back home. Now, we got really lucky finding this panda, but as you heard me say earlier, there's two rare pandas that you can get, and while the second one that we have to get later is not going to be as easy as this one. But luckily for us, we don't have to worry about that now. We can worry about that later. Now we have the Snotty-nosed panda in the rare mob area, and with this guy's magic sneeze, his enclosure will be built. That was definitely magic. I didn't just spend a bunch of time building this thing. Anyway, with the Snotty-nosed panda now added to the collection, it's now time for us to go on the lookout for a snowy mountain, because that's where the next very rare mob spawns. Ooh, take a look at that, a pale garden. Actually, wait a second. The reason we needed to find a snowy mountain was to get a very rare mob called the screaming goat. But we might have to put that on hold for a second, because there's a very rare mob we can get here, which is, of course, the Creaking. Now, luckily for us, we don't have to get a Creaking to spawn here and then bring it back to our base. I'm pretty sure all we need is the item called the Creaking heart. And with a Creaking heart, we can pretty much spawn a Creaking anywhere we want, I'm pretty sure. The only thing is, I'm not too familiar with this biome, and I have no idea how to get a Creaking heart. I'm gonna guess that it's somewhere in a tree. Wait, maybe I'm wrong. I can't find a Creaking heart in any of these trees. Oh, wait, because it's nighttime, Creaking are starting to spawn. Okay, I think they can lead us to a Creaking heart, and not now. Okay, now we need to hit this thing. Let's just get it to come over, and yeah, you thought, buddy. You thought. Yeah, I'm not scared of you. Show me where the Creaking heart is. Okay, it's over there. Now, I think right here, this is the Creaking heart. So we'll get our Silk Touch pickaxe out and mine it. And there we go. All right, so the Creaking has now disappeared, and we have a Creaking heart. So now that we have this Creaking heart, we can place it inside this enclosure. Actually, before we spawn a Creaking, it would probably be a good idea to decorate this thing first. Now, to get the Creaking in here, if we break this block and put a Creaking heart here, the Creaking should spawn somewhere, and there it is. Now we let it run all the way over to us by not looking at it. Like this. Oh my goodness, that was such good timing.